Today on 3D Outdoors, we're going to do a product review on the ClearSphere Crystal Clear Ice Ball Maker right after this. All right, if you've seen my other video that I have posted on how to make perfectly clear ice for all your beverage needs, if you're entertaining people, just for yourself, in my case, when I'm doing videos to make the product look better when we're doing mixed drinks and whatnot, you want crystal clear ice. And I explained in the other video how that works. And in that one, I'm using an insulated cooler in a deep freeze. But if you have a smaller space, say you have just a fridge, and with a freezer on your fridge, you're gonna say, well, I can't fit a cooler in there. How am I gonna do that? Well, that's where this comes in handy. Let's show you what you get when you order this. You get basically a mini cooler. Let's get the form out of here. So you have a little cooler basically, and it works on the same system as the cooler does. And I'll explain to you how this works, and then we'll fill it up with water and put it in the freezer, and I'll show you the results. But when you put it in a cooler like this, and it's open in the top, it's gonna freeze down. And what makes your ice cloudy? I had someone comment that I was using unfiltered crappy city water in one of my mixed drinks videos. Well, that wasn't the case. It was filtered, and I was in at the HQ out in the country, wasn't even in a city. If you have gunk in your water and you're in a city, you got a bigger problem. But the reason why you have cloudy ice when you get it out of your ice maker in the refrigerator or an ice cube tray or any of the other styles that you use to make it with is because there's air bubbles in there. Well, when you freeze this, your ice is suspended that you're making, so to speak. So I'll show you the mold here. 2 round circles, goes together, you put it in the container, you fill it up with water. Well, your spheres are partway up in here, so when it freezes, it's going down, going down, going down, because this is insulated, so the cold is coming from the top. It's pushing that air to the bottom. So you're still gonna have liquid in here when you pull it out of the freezer in 24 hours, which I will show you. So I'm gonna fill this up, put it in the freezer, and then I will pull it out and show you. Oh, and by the way, they have other cool molds too. There's a diamond shaped one and some square ones if you like square ones for like your rocks glasses and whatnot. I really like the round ones when I'm making old fashions, but we'll get to that on tomorrow's video. I'm gonna get some, we'll get to that when I come back after it's frozen in 24 hours. So I'm gonna get some water in here, filtered water, put it in the freezer, and we will show you the results, right? All right, it's been 24 hours, and through the magic of video editing, here we are. It's just a moment for you, 24 hours for me. Now let's see if anything has changed in the last 24 hours. We have the ClearSphere Crystal Clear Ice Ball Maker right here, and we filled it up and put it in the freezer, and now we're gonna pull out the mold. And there's some water left in the bottom here, and there's a reason for that. And I'm going to open it over here above this cooler so that I can catch any extra. But there we go, a perfectly clear ice ball. And you're going to say, well, we can drop that right in our rocks glass there, and make for a beautiful presentation. Following the advice of someone that commented on one of the videos, said we should be using crystal clear ice when we're doing beverages on the channel, and we will do that from now on. Now this will only make 2, obviously. There's only 2 reservoirs inside of here. So you're gonna say, well, what do I do if I have a group of friends coming over, or I need lots of these? What do I do? What you do is you just batch them. You know, if you're gonna have a party on a weekend and a get together, well then just take and start doing it every day and just start batching them up and put them in a Ziploc bag and put them in your freezer. Now, how does it work? I think that's probably more of the question you're asking. How does this work? Well, it's directional freezing. If you watch the other video on how to make crystal clear ice where I use a cooler, just a cheap cooler from your big box store, which some of you may not be able to fit in your freezer, this is much more size friendly, shall we say. But there is a lot of water left in the bottom here. Now pour that out right here. See all the water coming out of there? And you say, why is that? Well, it's directional freezing, like I said. What's happening is the sides are all insulated, so it's keeping it from freezing from the sides, and it's freezing from the top down. That's pushing the air down that you would normally see if you make ice in your refrigerator. You know, it happens relatively quickly. Well, it freezes so fast it captures those air bubbles in the ice cube. This doesn't do that. This pushes it down, and if you let it freeze to the bottom, you would find air bubbles in the bottom, but the spheres are far enough up that they don't get the air trapped in them, so you end up with perfectly clear ice, which is great for making a beverage like, oh, I don't know, maybe an old fashioned where you put a little bourbon in there. I'm going to use agave nectar tonight. You can use simple syrup or anything like that. This agave works great. Unfortunately, I don't have an orange handy. I did fail on that part, but we have ourselves a fabulous cherry here, and we have ourselves a Luxardo cherry, which in my opinion, you need a Luxardo in an old fashioned. And we're just gonna swirl this up here real quick, get it all turned around, and there we have it. A beautiful old fashioned with a perfectly crystal clear ice. So there you go. There's how to make crystal clear ice with the ClearSphere crystal clear ice ball maker. A review on the product. Obviously, 2 thumbs up from 3D Outdoors. Works as advertised. Makes perfectly clear ice. So if you want to make spheres, if you want to make squares, if you want to make diamonds, they have different molds for all of those, so you can make whatever shape you want. If you want large quantities of it, just batch it. Just take and freeze one, make a set every day, and just start storing them in a Ziploc bag. You've already frozen it, so you're not going to induce air into it. It might get a little murky on the outside of it. Once you put it in a drink, it's going to clear right off any of that freezer burn, shall we say. The short-term freezer burn will come right off. You'll have perfectly crystal clear ice for your guests and for yourself. So there you go. There is a review on the ClearSphere crystal clear ice ball maker. This is Dan with 3D Outdoors, reminding you to get into the outdoors and enjoy everything it has to offer. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and you can always follow us over at 3d-outdoors.com. See you next time. Cheers.